Okay. You know what it's time for, though, Mata? Do you know what it's time for? It's time for Mesmer. Chrono. Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right, guys. Chrono is dead. No, okay, I'm kidding. No. I wanted to say that, right? I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just going to say right off the bat, guys, I will try and avoid playing Chrono in raids now. Yeah. Right. So, let's get into these changes, guys. Let's get into the mix. So, let's do the Chrono stuff first. Shatter Skills. Mesmers who are using the Necromancer specialization now receive new shatters that replace the 4 core shatters. Necromancer shatters require at least 1 clone to activate. And unlike core shatters, they do not replicate the shatter effect on the Mesmer. Oh! Oh! Ah! Ouch! That hurts. That fucking hurts. Now, it's going to be very difficult to... Well, in War vs. World, good luck ever using one of those, buddy. Your clones are not going to survive, but it means there are so many gimmicks you can't do here. You now can't shatter in Continuum Split very easily. It's quite difficult to do. So you can't, like, get a bonus Aegis in there. You can't do bonus damage with your shatters there as well. Your shatters are basically, well... here's the thing. Like, they're a bit different, right? But, oof. Not getting the effect on yourself means that if you're alone, you have no clone. You can't use it to heal yourself or cleanse yourself or anything like that. You can't do a CC unless you've got clones. You can't play the game of, like, weaving in additional shatters anywhere, really. You can't kind of weave them in where your clones are building up, like, to get the F2 in for a bit of extra damage, right? This sucks. I mean, again, it has it coming, right? But, oof, ow. Like, the trouble is, guys, is when you do this to a class, especially when you remove distortion, this is kind of what they need to do to every class, but they've only done it to Chrono, right? So, for example, in PvP, I mean, Chrono is just going to get absolutely farmed. You have no distort. You can't shatter. Your shatter is basically worse as well than core Mesmer. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Oh, no.
This is quite unfortunate. So, no distort, not of extra bonus shatters. It's not ideal. I mean, I didn't play Chrono in PvP anyway, but this is probably where it actually sucks the most. Actually, that's not true. In War vs. World, this sucks the most. I mean, Chrono was already kind of this, like, weird abomination that was running around casting illusion of life on people, and that was basically it. And Gravwelling as well. But now you're just now you're really sad. If you play Chrono, now you're really sad in War vs. World. Because getting a shift off is probably very difficult now, actually, right? Yeah. Very, very difficult. Now, this is the shatter that is interesting and very spicy. Right? This is exciting. The F2. So, if you have illusions, the cooldown is already 21.25 seconds. For every clone that you shatter, it reduces it by 5 seconds. And this is this weird... This is this new weird thing, right? Where you're going to be playing some Condi Chrono memes. For a start, I think Condi support Chrono might end up being very good here, actually. Because of this trait. And you can do a massive amount of damage. Because Nico has showed me a log of it sustaining something like 40 confusion. So Condi Chrono might be very good for support, right? So you're kind of like, you know, you are going to do a lot of condition damage. It's going to be great on stuff like Lagos, onto like Desmina, right? So that's going to be buffed up a little bit there, which is kind of fun. Let's see what it looks like. Boom. Whoa. Look at that. Oh, is it always the same? I think it looks a little bit different, actually. Yeah. If I had to take Scepter, I gun myself. Yeah, you got to get the snakes, dude. Yeah, rewind Chrono, man. Like, rewind Chrono. Look how fast that recharges goes. Absolutely insane. You get it back almost immediately. It's absolutely crazy, boys. It is crazy. And they, oh, yeah. Oh, that's custom animation. That is sick, actually. It's absolutely insane. Wow. The art team has delivered. as you can see, guys, we'll just go over these shatters now. So, Split Second, it's the Mind Rack replacement. It deals damage for each clone with additional bonus damage when striking slowed foes. So, if you have slow on the boss, you get 33% extra damage. This basically means it's kind of the same, right? So, previously, think about it, right, guys? Well, actually, it's not linear. So Mind Rack damage is not exactly linear. So it's not like one clone does half the damage of 2 clones, does half the damage of 3 clones, right? That's not exactly how it works, because that would be very, very fucking good, right? But now you get a full 33% modifier on Split Second if they're slowed, right? Now, slow is very easy for Chrono to get, especially in PvP, so you're definitely going to be able to abuse this extra 33% damage, right? So you're probably going to end up hitting pretty hard by this, especially if you can muster up 3 clones. But with less than 3 clones, it is not going to be ideal because you don't proc it anymore, right? So in other words, before you would get 4 hits. If you got a full shatter off, you would get 4 hits. 1 for you, and then 3 for each of the clones, right? Now you can only get 3 hits, but you get a 33% modifier. So this probably ends up about the same, maybe even actually better than a regular Mind Rack, but only if you have 3 clones. It depends how the modifier interacts, right? So, you know what? Maybe we can actually kind of allow this, guys. We can allow that, but you need the 3 clones, right? So, boom. There you go. The F2 is where things are very interesting, actually, here, guys, on Rewinder. So Rewinder is Cry of Frustration. It behaves the same as Cry of Frustration. And for every clone you shatter, it reduces the recharge by 5 seconds. So if we just use our F2 now, guys, it's a 5-second recharge. With Alacrity, it's more like 4 seconds. So this is actually insane for PvE Condi Chrono. Now, there is a Condi Chrono boon build, which is what I think will be much more likely. But this is actually so good that Condi Chrono might just become very mainstream, actually, because you can get an insane amount of confusion up on the boss permanently by doing this. And that is very good on certain bosses, right? That's very good on certain bosses, because you can spam clones very hard, and you'll be able to generate really high confusion uptime with this, probably, especially if you run, a probability that you would run Chaos with this setup. We run something like this, right? Something like this, probably. Oops, wrong trait, guys. Run this one. But yeah, you definitely has some potential there. Oh, oops, malicious sorcerer as well. Oops, wrong traits, guys. Got the wrong traits on here. They are regular illusions traits. But yeah. So moving on to the next shatter is Time Sink. This destroys all of your clones and dazing and slowing. So you could kind of, the idea is that potentially you could kind of line these two up, right? You could shatter, daze people, and then boom, they've got slow on them, then bam, you can hit them with a split second, right? That kind of thing, right? But, Chrono doesn't really have, in PvP anyway, Chrono has no difficulty in applying slow. You have the interrupt trait here. This trait, delayed reactions. Whenever you interrupt them, it grants alacrity and slows the target. And, well, you have a myriad ways to apply fucking slow. Believe me, dude. You're big A's. Daze mantra, guys. Daze mantra. So, yeah, you can already get slow, so you don't need to use that for slow. Yeah, they have really good they're really good names, right? Like, Split Second, Rewinder, and Time Sink. That's some big value right there, guys, okay? That is some big value. So, there you have it, boys. Now, of course, it does suck that you need clones to shatter now. You can't do without it, and particularly the loss of distortion, it really sucks. Because, yeah, let's talk about the next shatter. Oh, wait, the next shatter is continuum split and not distortion. Ah! Yeah. You do get distortion when you go in CS now, which is kind of nice. So you'll share Aegis at the start of the fight for free if you're playing regular Chrono. In PvP, if you're, winding up for a Gravwell in CS, you'll also be able to do that with distortion as well. But you need a clone. So you can't just, randomly YOLO Gravwell someone. You're going to need a clone. You need to set up your combos. So, again, look, kind of want to say this, guys. I do just want to say this. Chrono is not dead. Chrono did have this coming, because it was one of those... It was probably the most egregious example of a class that was just literally better than the core spec, right? It had it coming. Will Chrono be able to stand up to the competition because of the power creep level in the game now? Maybe not. It might actually genuinely struggle now. In World vs. World, it's fucked. In PvP, I honestly think it's considerably weaker. Without distortion, that hurts. Distortion kind of carries Mesmer a lot in a lot of its interactions. It's like a 4-second invuln. Doesn't have that anymore. And CS probably won't cut it. So I would say that the class is considerably weakened in PvP, especially with the illusionary persona removal and the distort change as well. That is unfortunate. In PvE, it's completely fine. In fact, it will still be the pug meta for sure. Everyone's going to still play Chrono. It's just going to be a bit less exciting to play. Condi Chrono might be a thing now as well. On a lot of bosses, maybe we'll see some people start to play that a little bit more. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Chrono. It sucks, right? I think they needed to give some stuff to Chrono back to make it a bit more exciting, right? Over the years, we've seen the distort share get removed, which kind of fucked it in World vs. World and PvE. We've seen the sigil swap, the weapon sigil swapping, that's gone as well. Signet Inspiration has been kind of made less interesting over the years as well. The class has steadily become less interesting and more kind of AFK and just spam festy as we've gone through the game, and that's really sad to me, and I kind of want them to put some more of that spice back in there. Like, I guess it's more about lining up combos now, but you were doing that anyway, so now you just have to. So I think they've removed some gameplay from it, unfortunately, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm technically a fan of these changes, because yeah, Chrono is like a massively overpacked kit, right? But I don't think it deserves it compared to all the other stuff, right? You know, like, I feel like Chrono's losing its soul, you know? It's losing its soul, becoming a less interesting specialization to play with, you know? Yeah, feels bad, man. And yeah, now it does have a drawback, you know, that flavor. Again, it's very flavoursome. It's very flavoursome, right? Versatility of the class decreases the whole point. Yeah, I know. But now, I would say particularly in PvE, it feels like you just don't really do anything. You don't feel very versatile at all. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. It is, but hey, it deserves it, right? I guess, kinda. So, some other things did happen. So, Chrono's dead in PvE? No, not really. It's very dead in World vs. World. It's not exactly dead in PvP either. I just think it's going to be considerably weaker in PvP. And it's just not... I don't know. I think it's less interesting in PvE, but it's still going to be meta in PvE. So it's fine, right? It's good. Yeah, right, what else have we got going on here? What else? Oh yeah, they nerfed this trait as well, didn't they? This also kind of fucks over Azadome. So they nerfed Auspicious Anguish as well. So Auspicious Anguish, what it did was, whenever you got CC'd, it gave you your Distort back. Oh wait, you don't have Distort anymore. It gave you 2 sets of Distortion, basically. Ha! You've been memed. That's gone now. You don't have that. They kind of to make up for Illusionary Persona being gone. They buff Flow of Time and Seize the Moment, right? Obviously, right? And of course, Master of Fragmentation changes now because of the new continuing stuff. So yeah, wow, you don't get the slow if you take this trait either, because you just get the reflect with the Distort because of the way of core Mesmer. Yeah, I see what they mean. Yeah, okay. I get it. Righty, so. Some other stuff did happen to Mesmer, though. Signet of Illusions obviously got fixed to work with this. And these are some big changes to Mirage. Surprisingly big change to Mirage here. Speed of Sand, which is the on dodge you get super speed trait for Mirage. You don't get super speed anymore. You now only get 66% movement speed. That is a big deal. Because that means super speed has this weird property of kind of ignoring slows. So if you get hit by Cripple or Chill or something like that, super speed kind of makes you go really fast anyway. Movement speed doesn't do that. So this means if you snare someone and they try and dodge away with super speed, it will be considerably less effective. This is something that they're kind of bringing in line with Rev as well, with Impossible Odds. But this actually makes Mirage less slippery, considerably less slippery, and the same for Rev. We'll see that later, obviously, right? So that's actually a pretty good change in my opinion. Mirage is very annoying to players. Okay. So then they nerfed Auspicious Anguish. Well, it's not exactly a nerf. They just changed it because it doesn't really make any sense now. It wouldn't do it. It wouldn't even work on Chrono, right? So they had to change it. It now causes 2 damaging conditions on the Mesmer to be converted into wounds whenever the Mesmer gains Distortion and becomes disabled. Now, I'll tell you what. Wait, what? Is this no internal cooldown? Is that no internal couldown?
Hamato says it has no ICD.
Fog. Okay, this is actually a pretty good trait. Now, I think you do run the staff trait. You'll probably run the staff trait on a lot of Chrono builds that would have this. But if you're going to run Chaos in PvE, this means that whenever you use a Signet, you lose 2 conditions on you, right? You lose 2 conditions. You convert them into boons. Well, 2 damaging conditions. It doesn't work on stuff like Vuln. It only works on the damaging conditions by the look of that. So it's Vigor, Aegis, Retail, Regen, and Might. That's kind of fun, though. That's a fun trait. You know what? This would be such a cool thing if Signet Share still existed. The distort share, right? You would cleanse people when you distort them. That would actually be a really kind of a cool gimmick for world versus world, actually, right? You could remove conditions when you use a Signet on people to distort them. But yeah, I think this is quite limited application nowadays, but I don't mind it. I actually kind of like the design on that trait. That's a cool trait. I like it. Right. One final thing happened to Mesmer, and it was also to Mirage. We got a new trait, boys. We got a new trait. June Cloak got reworked completely. It used to give bleeding whenever you dodged, I believed, and I think it also increased condition duration to bleeding foes or something like that. It never got used because these traits were way better. They nerfed Elusive Mind so hard, actually. Oh my god, they really hated this trait. But now you just run Infinite Horizon and you go Psycho. All right. So, Sand Shards. Strike nearby foes, removing a boon from them. Gain a copy of any boon removed. So this is like you steal a boon from everyone after you dodge. This is a really cool trait. All right. Will this actually be used? The trouble is, Infinite Horizon is very good. This is very, very, very good indeed. It's a good trait. But this is a fun trait. This is like the fun edition. If you're in the team fight next to the Firebrand Scourge, you just take their boons whenever you dodge. The trouble is, like, you're not going to proc that often, right? Like, when are you going to get value out of Sand Shards? Let's think about that, guys. I think you're not going to get value that often. From this, because if you're a Mirage, you're probably not always going to be dodging right on top of the enemy, right? So I think it is unlikely this trait sees play, but I do like it. I do think it's a cool trait. So for Mesmer is not dead, guys. Just want to make that very clear. It's not dead. But in PvE, it's, I don't know, it's a bit less exciting. In World versus World, it's the final nail in the coffin for it. And in PvP, I think it's rough. It has got deleted from 2 game modes a little bit. And it's fine in PvE. It will still be in the meta for PvE. We'll certainly see it in speedruns. We'll see it in pugs. It will still... most pugs are still going to run double Chrono. Simple as that. It's just because it's easy. It's easy. It's efficient. It's clean. It does the job. It's got focus offhand. Yeah. So, Mesmer is fine. Right, okay, we're moving on, though. Mesmer feels bad, man, but it's probably good for the game overall. All right, here we go, Necro! While Reapers were designed to be durable frontline fighters, the Soul Eater trait is providing a little too much survivability. So we're removing the ability of this trait to heal while in a Shroud. We're also making some changes to core Necromancer Death Shroud skills. These changes are aimed at improving the uptime of Shroud skills to put them more in line with their already specialized counterparts. Now, I want to address the first part here. Soul Eater is providing a little bit too much survivability. Where do they think it's doing this? When did this happen? Right? I do not understand. PvP? I'm not sure if it really did that in PvP. I mean, it was... don't get me wrong. Reaper has seen some experimentation, right? It's definitely seen some experimentation about the place, but it never really got anywhere, even with that additional sustain from Soul Eater, right? You enter Shroud and go up to 100% HP per attacking. No, you don't. I mean, that didn't happen. Like, when did that ever happen? Like, maybe if you were, like, cleaving 3 down states in PvP, you would heal a fair bit, but it was only 10%. So if you hit someone for 2,000, you heal for 200, right? You have to do 20,000 damage to heal for 2,000, right? That's not... You're not going to full heal from this trait, right? Even in PvP. And World vs. World, right? And in PvE, though, it's fine. Like, if that happens, it's absolutely fine. Who cares if it happens in PvE, right? Like, Parasitic Contagion is in the fucking game, dude. Or Invigorating Precision. Yeah. You already have, like, literally unkillable traits that make you literally unkillable, and they nerf this one? It's so weird that they did that. I don't know where they get this, like, little too much survivability. I don't know. I don't really mind it. I don't even think it was that oppressive in PvP in World vs. World. I don't think so. I don't think it actually healed you that much. Oh no, a bit weird. Bit of a weird one. So, let's move on. So, Dark Path. This is a cool change, actually. Updated the icon with the skill. Reduce the recharge from 15 seconds to 8 seconds. Reduce the chill duration from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. The skill now damages, chills, and inflicts bleeding on all foes in the area, rather than only damaging and inflicting bleeding on the first foe hit. The projectile fired by the skill now travels in a straight line. This is a documented change. This is why it's weird now. The projectile followed by the skill now travels in a straight line rather than following the slope of the ground. This skill no longer shouts to the target by default, instead it flips over to Dark Pursuit when projectile hits. Dark Pursuit is a follow-up, so you shadow step to the first foe stuck by the Dark Path and increases the reach of Dark Path by 8 seconds, which basically puts it back to what it was before. Dark Pursuit can be cast for 3 seconds after the Dark Path projectile hits a target. So, what does this mean, guys? It means that you can spam Corrupt on people every 8 seconds with this. You can do a double Corrupt boon, Corrupt, every 8 seconds and chill them for 3 seconds and apply bleeding every single 8 seconds. So, like, on paper, this is a really big buff, actually, to Core Necro, because you can sit on high ground. And even better, before it would force you to shadow step in, now you can sit on high ground throwing this at them and corrupting them, chilling them, bleeding them, and just giving them, in general, aids, right? Now, the bad news is that this skill has actually been a bit memed, sadly, because it turns out that when they changed how the projectile works, now it doesn't track your target at all. So, and because it's quite a slow projectile, it is a bit of a meme, unfortunately, which is, you know, perhaps not ideal. But, you know, guys, you can't win them all. That's what they say, right? You can't win them all. So, there you go. Feels bad, but it keeps you in a safe position, but it's easier to avoid. Yeah, it's very much easier to avoid, right? Like, Core Necro is already a good build, and this is in theory a buff to it, but it's in practice.
You accidentally dodge it now.
Yeah,
like, just any kind of movement evades it instantly.
That may actually be unintended. So yeah, it may be unintended. We may see a fix for that coming through. But I would probably say that I don't know. I don't know, dude. Like, it probably ends up as a bit of a nerf because it's going to be very unreliable to land it now. It's a bit of a really funky projectile. So, yeah, This ain't good. This ain't good, boys. It's not the best change in the world. So we'll just show you how it works. Here we are in Shroud. Here's the light golem. We're gonna throw that at him. So we get our chill. We get our bleed. And weakness, because I've got the other trait. I've also got Doomfire because I'm on my Scourge build, basically. And, as you can see, very short cooldown. And then if I just go ahead and launch it, the medium one, we have this flip skill here, Dark Pursuit, which we can now Shadow Step in. And that increases the cooldown up to for another 8 seconds, right? So, there you go. And also, bear in mind, guys, if you've got Soul Reaping, which you will have, this is a very short cooldown, a really short cooldown. It's a 6-second cooldown, and you get a double Boon Corrupt on Path to Corruption. This is very powerful, guys. It's very, very powerful, actually, if you can land it. Now, I wonder, guys, can you go to the arena again? I want to see if the Boon Corrupt is AoE, because this attack is an AoE now. It is an AoE Corrupt? Oh, nice. I just wanted to test that. I wanted to see if it's AoE now. That's quite strong, actually. I wonder if we might even see some Core Necro in competitive. No, we won't. Scourge is still way too good for the team fight. Definitely cool, though. I like these buffs. It's definitely bringing Core Necro up to a level where it's going to get a little bit scary. Yeah, I'm going to corrupt. Fine, no one's coming. Well, that's just depressing, guys. I can't get anyone. The ArenaNet password is Keepo123, guys. Keepo123. So, what they've also done is reduce the cooldown on Life Transfer and Tainted Shackles, which is the 4th and 5th skills on your Shroud. Now, the reason they've done this is because these corners were insane. Okay, I'm going to expose ArenaNet here. This is what the balance looked like in the core game. This is just how power crept it was. Like, these abilities were like this since the start of the game, right? And they've reduced the cooldown because just to bring it somewhat in line, right, with how Scourge is and how spammy Scourge is, that kind of meme, right? And yeah, it's a very good change. Life Transfer was not amazing. Tainted Shackles was powerful, but now it's even more powerful. 30 seconds is quite a short cooldown, actually, especially with Shroud. Life Transfer the same. 25 seconds, isn't it? About 20 seconds with Soul Reaping, right? So, and about 26 seconds or something like that for Tainted Shackles as well. So, honestly, yeah, fair enough. These are actually decent now. Ah, nice. Finally, we have people. Right. I need Life Force, you fuckers. Okay. Here we go, guys. Let's see. Are we going to AoE corrupt people? Don't put Aegis, though. Get rid of the fucking Aegis, you slimy fucks. Alright, here we go. Right. Prepare to be corrupted. Ah! There we go. Okay, it's corrupting everyone. Alright, nice. Oh, the Herald is pulsing boons. That's why, yeah, it's weird. Okay.
What was that?
Wait, I'm not... Is it actually corrupting? Is it AoE corrupting? Is it even working? No, it's definitely working, actually. There we go. Be corrupted, my friends. Look at that well of corruption go. Okay, so everyone's losing moves. Okay, it is an AoE corrupt then. It's an AoE corrupt. I like it. I like it. That's some good shit. Fun stuff, guys, for Necro. They did some underwater shit. I don't care about that. And Soul Eater. The Soul Eater change is kind of sad, but oh well. I guess Soul Eater had to die. But that's basically it for Necro. So not really much happening. Core Necro buffed up, which is good. Bring it up to where Scourge is, to make elite specializations not actually just strictly better. Which we're definitely on the path of that with a lot of stuff with Core Guard. Moving on, guys, to Ranger. Now, Ranger got a bit of a pounding because they saw Bix montage videos and they thought, dude, that's fucked up. And so they nerfed Berserker Ranger, baby. They have nerfed the Snipe Beast. In this update, we've made some reductions to tone down the strength of some Soul Beast, PvP, and World vs. World builds. While we believe the builds and playstars have a solid place in the game and don't want to take them out of play, certain elements are a bit too far over the edge. The skill Sikkim is providing a large damage modifier that is significantly higher than any other single persistent damage bonus damage increase, so we're reducing the bonus to match other similar skills in a competitive setting. This reduction only occurs while merged with your pet. We're also reducing access to the unblockable effect provided by some skills and traits in order to create more opportunities for others. So in other words, they've added counterplay to it. Finally! Well, this isn't... They haven't actually noticed about that much, by the way, guys. I'm going to very quickly go over these because we can be a little bit concise. We don't need to go over every single exact change. Say, oh, yeah, this is... So, the unblockable on Call of Wild on Warhorn, it's down, instead of just getting unblockable for all attacks the next 4 seconds, it's now just the next 3 attacks within 5 seconds, which is a big ouch, actually. Clarion Bond, the same, except even worse, just 2 attacks within 5 seconds, because that's how it works. Unstoppable Union does not give unblockable anymore. It instead removes movement impairing conditions in addition to previous somebody can activate these mode. Makes more sense, actually, to be fair. It's actually more flavorsome. Makes a bit more sense. So, yeah, big ouchie there, and Sikkim damage is down from 40% to 25% in PP and Wolfsword for Soul Beast, sorry, when you merge. Now, that's probably... I actually think the unblockable is arguably more important than those, because unblockable is so aided. Like, there's nothing you can do, right? Like, you can't even put a reflect up to be safe from this like, one-shot Soul Beast. This build is really cancerous and really stupid, right? It is a silly build, right? Let's be honest here. Like, this is an inherently ridiculous build, and I'm really glad it got nerfed. It was so unfun to play against like this because there's very little counterplay against it except from like literally hiding behind a rock, okay, and not getting one shot. And it just one shots you from 1500 range, sometimes more than that. Just hits you for 20k with one rapid fire. And if you don't dodge it or if you don't see it in time, you're just dead. In World vs. World, even more obnoxious. This build absolutely had it coming. 100% had it coming. Yeah, you can still get unblockable, as Juan Punch is saying, with Signet of the Hunt, which is the foot, one of the lesser played signets. So you do have that, but you're going to have to give up a utility slot. And that will massively reduce your durability as well, because what you play now, I believe, guys, please do correct me if I'm wrong, you play stuff like Quickening Zephyr. Hang on, let's get this going. So you have Quickening Zephyr, and I believe Lightning Reflexes as well. That's what I see a lot of people play anyway on this setup here, and then with something like fucking Rampage as one. All right. So, you have to give up some utility slot. But, yeah. There you go. So, yeah, someone's thinking stone. Yeah. This or that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So, yeah. It's nerfed. You can still do it. You can take the Signet. It's doable. The damage reduction isn't actually that bad. It's 15%, but you can still one-shot people, particularly in World vs. World. You'll absolutely be able to one-shot people with this. Still... So, the build exists, but it's been toned down. Honestly, I think it could even do with a bit more. I know maybe I'm being a bit harsh there. I think you could even nerf this a bit harder. It's still going to do a lot of damage with just its auto attacks. It still has a lot of burst with the Sikkim combo. It's a glass cannon. It's a glass cannon, right? All right, Barrage. So they did some other shit to the longbow as well. So, again, long-range shot, point-blank shot, both scale dynamically. This kind of doesn't really change that much as such. It's more of a welcome to 2019 Guild Wars 2. This is how they do these things. They don't like thresholds anymore. I like it. It makes it more intuitive, makes more sense. Makes pushing a bit more annoying, perhaps, on Desmina, but hey, fair enough, right? But not by much. Teeny tiny bit. So yeah, good changes there. Barrage! Finally! The weirdest ability ever has now been changed. Recharge down to 20 seconds, which is a lot, from 30. Lowered the cripple duration from 1.5 to 1 second. Increased the damage by 25%. Damage float is now shown properly, so you can see how much damage you're really getting on people. And the damage is up by 25%. Yeah, it's good. And that's actually a lot of damage, right? That's actually a big deal. 10-second cooldown reduction, 30% cooldown reduction, and 25% more damage. That's actually a big deal. This skill already did a fair bit of damage. It was like you could use it to harass people by hiding behind stuff, hit people who were kiting. Now that's quite a lot more, right? That's quite a lot more damage, actually, you know? Not bad at all. You're now an arrow cart. Feels good, man. Feels arrow cart, man. Yeah, nice. So they did actually try to give a bit back to Soul Beast with twice as vicious. So you gain 10 seconds of extra damage when you CC someone instead of just 4 seconds. It was this. I'll go in PvP actually. We'll go in PvP to see this trait. So this is my my rich Soul Beast. Okay, that's what it is, guys. He's the ERP prize pool Soul Beast. No, was I going the right? No, this is not really a significant buff at all. This buff doesn't matter because it gives you 5% damage, right? As you can see, yeah, there it is, twice as vicious. 5% damage, condition damage, and power damage whenever you disable a foe, and you get that for 10 seconds now. So that's actually technically a buff in PvE, technically speaking, because you do actually use this. You proc this a fair bit actually on the greatsword. And on the short bow as well, because of short bow 5, so you can get damage off of there. So it's a buff to Soul Beast in PvE. Nice, I guess, because Soul Beast was slightly underplayed. Actually, no, I've changed my mind. Soul Beast is criminally underplayed in PvE. Actually, it's such a great class. It's easy. You can take spirits. You can take some utility. It's a really good class, but people don't play it. So yeah, good to see it a little bit buff there. But they've tried to add this back to Soul Beast in PvP to give it a bit more longevity to its damage and kind of shut down the burst, which is fair enough. It makes sense. It doesn't really do anything there because you know your burst is very fast, right? You've got quickness. You rapid fire someone. You don't need 10 seconds for that. You only need like 2 seconds really. So I mean, it's not necessary, right? It's all good, right? Yeah. Okay. So, did anything else really happen that's particularly interesting? Oh, yeah. Oh! Second skin on Soul Beast. This was a bit of a shocker, actually, right? This is a bit of a shocker here, to be honest. They nerfed this in PvP only. So, Soul Beast has 2 builds, right? You have like a damaged Soul Beast and a 1v1 Soul Beast. And they nerfed the 1v1 Soul Beast.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, which was already not played that much. Yeah. It was already very much underplayed, and now they've nerfed it. It's actually particularly bad because a very prevalent 1v1 build going on right now is actually Chaotic Interruption Mirage, which is a Condi build, and this will prevent Soul Beast from being resistant against this build. So I'm a bit. I don't really know why they nerfed it. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea why they nerfed it. Actually, they just say, you know what? It's too good. This train is too good. We never want to see Soul Beast ever again. So it's like they said, okay, right, we're going to try and nerf Sniper Soul Beast, right? But what if we just nerfed all of Soul Beast as well? It's like, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Do you ever want to see another Soul Beast picking up plasma again? I mean, let's just be real. Do you want to see that? I mean, obviously, you don't want to see the CI Mirage either, but, like, do you want to see the plasma either? Like, you know? You don't.
I'm not that sad about it being gone because I think it is actually a really AIDS build, right? It has exactly. Loads of invuln, it spams evades. I mean,
there is a reason it is gone, okay? There's a reason.
It's not a fun build, so I guess I'm not that upset about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's another bit of an interesting buff. They buff Frost Trap damage by 100% in PvE only. Now, someone who knows about Soul Beast, I thought that Frost Trap actually occasionally saw play in PvE Power Soul Beast right off the bat. Will this actually make it more usable here as well? I mean, that's kind of fun if it is, right? So yeah, there you go. Oh, you know what happened? This is so sad, actually. Druid got smushed a little bit.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
you're joking.
So Ancestral Grace, Staff 3, no longer evades. That is huge! For a start, they're like, you know what? Fuck Druid 1v1, Omega lul! Right? It's just like, okay, fine, that's gone. And they increase the recharge by 20 seconds. But to 20 seconds as well, so another 2 seconds increase. But yeah, so it's 20 seconds instead of 18 seconds now. If you heal someone, though, it's 15 seconds. So it's technically better in PvE, I guess. But a lot of the time, you're going to be 1v1ing with this ability in PvP, so it's probably a nerf there. Like, I think they want to nudge you towards being more of a team fight support, but you can't do that because Firebrand exists. Sublime Conversion. This skill now grants 5 seconds of regen to allies who pass through the wall. This is a massive deal, because regen uptime on Druid was actually a bit fucked after they nerfed Water Spirit, but now, you put this on the group, and your group jiggles around, and you get like you get 10 seconds regen, because you've got 100% uptime, right? So, yeah, you actually get a lot of extra regen uptime on your entire group with Sublime Conversion. So this is a big deal for PvE, and it's kind of nice in PvP as well, because you can run through that and charge up your CA, right? But that is actually a big deal. So, quite a nice buff to Druid in PvE there for Druid. More regen. Then Ancestral Grace is a bit of an odd one, but it's probably fine. And then Soul Beast, Sniper, got fucked. Get the hell out of here. It's a snake. Berserker Ranger. He's not rank 5 anymore, dude. Okay, right? Yeah, good stuff. And they nerf 1v1 Soul Beast as well, because they never want boys to play it ever again. Because they were watching that AT final meta, he like 1v4'd people on point for a while Fly was getting the beast. So they saw that and they thought, you know what? We can't allow that to happen. That cannot happen.